How long have you been working in an organization, working for someone every day in the morning, waking up, getting ready, rushing to the office and working for somebody so that that person becomes rich, that person fulfills their impactful mission? How about you setting a vision and a mission for yourself and think of becoming your own boss? How about stepping into entrepreneurship? Well, if you want to step into entrepreneurship, the first thing that you have to think is there a group of people who has a large problem? And to identify that group of people, you have to pick one person who has a problem, large problem. And remember, this person should also have money to pay you back. So you have to figure out a person who has a large problem, a difficult problem that he or she wants to solve, and then whether that person can pay you if you solve this one. The next point you have to think is whether you have that skill, the talent, the knowledge to solve that problem. My mentor said that if you are in business and if you set a target to achieve, let's say $10,000 this year, and you achieved only $5,000, or let's say $4,000, you achieve only $4,000. That means the remaining $6,000 that you did not earn because of your ignorance. So he calls it the ignorance tax. So by being in the formal employment to your employer, are you paying ignorant tax every day because you have this dream that you want to earn $10,000, but you are just earning $4,000 from your employer, and then you are not earning the $6,000? That means if you know that you are ignorant and you have to learn this skill, step into the zone, step into the field and start learning. Start gaining that knowledge. Follow people who have done it already, and then do it. As Muslims, we always have to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted trading, the business, but He has prohibited riba. So when we think from this Islamic perspective, what we have to understand is the purpose of business is not to make money. The purpose of business is to obey the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not cheat, do not steal, do not deceive, be honest, and most importantly, avoid riba. So if you are a parent like me, if you want to send your kids to further education, and if you are thinking of taking a loan, let's step back. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited interest, the riba. So if you are going for a loan, definitely it includes the riba. So stop it, avoid, go back and get into the field and do the work. Ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Razzaq. It is mentioned that when you are born, all your monetary, financial capacity, your health, your wealth, your age, everything is set. That means everything is set for you. But you have to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because He is Ar-Razzaq. So you have to keep on working. In Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when you finish praying, spread on the land. And while you do the work, always remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So keep remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep asking for forgiveness. And when you ask for forgiveness, when you keep remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when you make your purpose of life to be a slave, to be a obedient slave, and you do everything with that intention, you will be succeeding in your business. So if you have thought about, if this idea, that seed is planted in your heart that I should be doing some work, I should be fulfilling my vision in life, let's explore further. Are you ready to explore?